We are back with our traffic talk for the month of July. I'm Jeanne Ingersoll, the Director of Business Development for Shopper Track Analytics for North America. And I've got yet again my wonderful, wonderful buddy, Mr. Grant Gustafson here with me. He's the head of retail consulting for Shopper Track Analytics North America. Grant, this time of the month is always amazing. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
It's always good to have our monthly chat, and it's such a critical time for retailers this time of year.
It is. It is. We are on the cusp of what is arguably one of the busiest times for retailers. And obviously, what we're talking about is back to school. We are very, very excited. So, Shopper Track Analytics, we actually just published our annual blog with our back to school consumer sentiment survey results, which shares some really critical and really insightful information, specifically on what shoppers are expecting in terms of their experience to make shopping as easy and efficient as possible. So, Grant, what can you share with us? What's the single biggest takeaway from the results of the survey?
Yeah, so no pun intended, but consumers every year really give us the answers to the test, and there's really no surprise this year. But in-store shopping, remains the number one destination where consumers plan to shop this year, with 70% of respondents saying they plan to shop in store. What was really interesting from the survey this year is for the first time in the last couple years, buy online, pick up in store is now outranking home delivery. So 46% of respondents said they plan to use buy online, pick up in store this year for their back to school holiday or shopping season.
Wow, that is interesting. Why is that? What's the switch up?
It really comes down to convenience. The top two reasons why consumers responded this way was one, to save time, and two, to ensure they could pick up their item same day. And really what that means for retailers is there's more shoppers that are going to be walking through your doors this year than there were before.
Mm-hmm. So efficiency and being able to pick up their things fast.
Absolutely. And then one last thing to really consider this year is that price sensitivity still remains high. Consumers are really going to be budget conscious when it comes to their back to school shopping lists. It's going to be really important for retailers to have a compelling value proposition this year to lure shoppers in the front door.
Got it. So budget friendly, efficient, and making sure that all of that kind of comes to a head is really going to be the perfect storm. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that begs a question for our audience. So if you guys are listening, be sure to comment, add your thoughts, and chime in below. For the retailers out there, what's working, what's best for you and your team to really help connect with value-driven back-to-school shoppers this season, given what Grant just shared? We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to chime in below. So we've got some really interesting insights. This was really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the survey results. So if you want to know more specifically on what shoppers are expecting, what they're looking forward to, maybe even what they're seeing as their biggest challenges when it comes to shopping for back to school, take a peek at the blog linked below. And as always, you can connect with Grant and myself on LinkedIn, and we'd be happy to continue the conversation. Until next time. Thanks, Grant.
Bye, Jeannie.
Bye.